Yesterday I made a video showing how to install the official Gingerbread update, as well as how to install the pre-rooted version using the FlashTool and xRecovery. Now Wolf has released a tweaked version of the Gingerbread update, and it contains a few extra tweaks, like removing the frames per second cap, taking the Mobile BRAVIA engine from the ARC, as well as other things, and it is also pre-rooted. He's also included speed fixes and other things like the ARC launcher and other mods. So I'm just going to walk you through how to install this tweaked version of the Gingerbread ROM. There is already a thread showing how to detail this, so if you need the text instructions, just read this. This phone is running the pre-rooted version of the Gingerbread ROM. That's why you've got BusyBox and Super User. If you haven't already, you can install xRecovery and go from there. But you can. I'm also going to show how to flash directly from 2.1, or how to install it from scratch to make sure there are no issues. So I'm just going to install xRecovery. No, hasn't been granted permission, so it's not read-only. Installing BusyBox. And going back into xRecovery and installing xRecovery. There we go. I'm also going to compare all the different scores for Linpack, Quadrant, and Neocore. So before you start off, you're going to need 5 files from Wolf's Xperia. This is the baseband update. This is if you haven't already installed the 2.3 ROM. This is the actual firmware itself, and then these are the tweaks. Optional, you can also install the new launcher from the ARC, which is faster. And you can also install this circle battery mod. So the launcher in this thread has new features, and it's faster. The battery mod changes the battery icon into numbers, as well as charging symbols, and these are optional. So again, you need 5 files. Optional is the battery update, as well as the home screen launcher. You need the speed tweak if you want it, the actual ROM, and then the actual baseband. So you're copying these 4 files to your phone, and this goes into the FlashTool. If you don't have a 7-zip installed, you can install WinRAR or 7-zip and download the FTF file for the FlashTool. So in the FlashTool, I've got the kernel update, as well as a generic 2.1 ROM, which I'm going to show how to install everything from scratch. So I've got the FlashTool open, and I'm just going to flash it back to 2.1. Again, when you're flashing a ROM, your phone does not have to be rooted. The FlashTool will erase everything, so this should work on any phone. It doesn't matter what you're running. I'm just going to flash back to 2.1 and show all the steps to install this custom ROM. Okay. Plug in the phone, hold the back button, insert the battery, and the FlashTool is going to start picking it up. If you get an error, like it aborts halfway through, just flash it again. Again, you cannot brick the phone as long as you don't break the USB port. You can always flash it again, or use Update Service or PC Companion to repair the phone. So you cannot brick the phone, just flash it again. Once you've finished flashing the phone, unplug it and boot it up. Once the phone started up, you're going to need to root it and install BusyBox and Super One-Click. So I'm just going to do that quickly. Go into Settings. Applications. Turn on Unknown Sources. Go into Development and turn on USB debugging. Next, you're going to have to log into the market or use ADB to install xRecovery as well as BusyBox. But first, I'm going to root it. So I'm going to connect the phone. And pulling up Super One-Click. Click on Root. It's going to ask if it's 2.0 or higher, so you're running 2.1, so yes. It's going to ask you if you want to install BusyBox. Click no, because typically this doesn't work. You're going to have to install it manually. So click no. It's going to say root files have been successful, so run a test. Yes. Super user command. And finally, your device has been rooted. So the important thing after this is you have to reboot the phone, or else you cannot run BusyBox or Super User. So make sure you go back into the phone. And power it off and reboot. And I'll be right back after I rebooted the phone and installed BusyBox and xRecovery. So I've restarted the phone, and as you can see, there's BusyBox, Super User, and xRecovery. And this is on a 2.1 phone. So first off, we're going to install BusyBox. Next, we're going to install xRecovery. And now make sure you have all the files copied to the phone. So under Gingerbread, I've got the battery modification, the new launcher, the speed fix, as well as Wolf's Gingerbread. This was the patch version and this is Wolf's. So now I'm just going to reboot the phone into xRecovery. So, power on. And when you see the Sony Ericsson logo, start pressing the back button. First, you're going to go into the partition tools and just format everything except for the SD card, obviously. So format system. Format data, and format cache. Can go back, install custom zip, choose zip, and go into wherever you stored your file. So Gingerbread, and I'm going to install Wolf's version of the Gingerbread, and yes. Once that's finished installing, this is the most important part. Do not reboot the phone. Pull the battery out to turn it off. Now you're going to plug the phone back in without the battery for now, and go into the FlashTool, and you're going to flash Wolf's kernel update for Gingerbread. So going into the FlashTool, clicking Flash, and I'm going to flash the only kernel and baseband update. So click OK. Hold the back button and plug in the battery. FlashTool is going to pick it up and flash the baseband and kernel for Gingerbread. And it's done. So now I'm just going to start up the phone. So at this point it's done. You've installed the custom Gingerbread ROM, and the steps after this are optional to install the mods such as the battery mod and the Sony Ericsson launcher, as well as the speed tweaks, but they are recommended. So the phone has started up, and as you can see it's now running 2.3 Gingerbread, and this is Wolf's modified version of the ROM with extra tweaks and other features. It does say I, but it will run on an X10A, it doesn't matter. And if you go into the applications, you will see Super User because it has been rooted. So at this point I'm going to turn it off and go back into xRecovery to install the other tweaks, but they are all optional. So I'm just going to pull the battery and show that this is an X10A running an iFirmware without any issues. Okay, restart. And go down to install custom zip. In my Gingerbread folder, I'm going to install the battery mod, and the speed tweak. Once those are complete, this time you can reboot the phone. And as you can see, there's the battery mod as well. There should be speed tweak improvements, and I'll run some of the benchmarks to show the differences. And that's how you install a custom Gingerbread ROM. So again, the instructions are on this thread. Every single link is in the description. And if anything goes wrong, simply use the FlashTool, wipe the phone, and start over again.